My name is Ogden, and I've dedicated the last 4 years of my life to improving my social skills and building the best social life that I can. And during these 4 years, I've also been able to help out a few guys to achieve similar results. So if you want one-on-one help from me, you can check out the first link in the description. But one thing that I came pretty far in learning how to improve and level up was social anxiety. And so in this video, by the end of this video, you will know exactly the best strategy that I used to not just destroy my social anxiety, but to also become more socially confident and charismatic. First, we need to realize why the social anxiety happened. And an analogy that I like to use in order to kind of explain this more easily is the forest analogy. Imagine you were given a task to go from one side of the forest to the next. You have no map, no compass, and you're fully alone. The first time you do this, you're gonna have a ton of anxiety because you don't know what to expect. Is a bear gonna jump out of you from behind a tree? Is there a cliff behind a bush? Are you gonna get lost? Is it gonna get dark? But then when you do it the second time, and then the third, and the fifth, and the 10th, and by the 50th time, your social anxiety is gone. And by the 100th time, you actually become confident and you like don't even worry about it. You actually kind of want to do it because of how easy it is for you. You just get this absolute level of confidence. Same thing when it comes to speaking to people. If you've never before in your life spoken to any strangers or approached any groups of people and started a conversation, you don't know what to expect. Your brain doesn't know what to expect. And so it instantly kind of gives you, it defaults to this level of like anxiety because this kind of goes back to like primal level stuff when it's like, which kind of makes sense if you're walking through a forest, right? Back when you were like a caveman, right? In like caveman days, if you were walking down a forest, your brain, because it's, an uncharted area, would give you anxiety because you might get eaten by a lion. And that anxiety is what would get you back to what is familiar, your tribe. So this is stuff that is unfamiliar to you. That's where you're getting so much kind of anxiety about it. And another thing that people do, which is kind of dumb, but I used to do this a lot, is you kind of start pedestalizing people based on like nothing. Essentially, you create like this imaginary hierarchy in your mind where you start putting different people like above or even below you. And what ends up happening is when you go into the same room or try speaking to those people who you put above you, you just give yourself extra anxiety. This tends to happen a lot with attractive girls. Guys do this a lot when you see like a super hot girl, and all of a sudden you start creating this picture of her in your mind that she's like this perfect girl, and you start, pedestalizing her, and then when you walk up to her, you start having way more anxiety than you would have had usually. A quick solution to this is to just visualize every single person standing on like a straight field, right? With the pedestalizing thing, you kind of expect everyone to be in like a pyramid and hierarchy, and everyone, people are above or below. Imagine everyone is standing on like a straight field. The only difference is no one is standing in like a line behind each other or anything. People are standing at completely different places. The reason for this is that people are way too different to be able to just say this person is above this person or that person is above that person for like generally everything. In some disciplines, okay, like if someone goes to the gym for a year and someone goes to the gym for 10 years, the 10-year guy is above the 1-year guy. But the problem with this kind of hierarchy is that you start judging people on like based on their like entire existence. Like this person is higher level than this person. But what you have to realize is that people are way too different and live way too different lives to be able to just say this person is above this person. That's why when you imagine them on like a straight field and in different places, everyone's kind of on the same level. People have just different lives. Now, what is the solution to the social anxiety? As I just said, it does come down to just getting more experience. It's as simple as that. And the nice thing about this is that it requires no genetics, no money, no sacrifice, and the only downsides is that it's pretty scary in the start and it takes some time. And what the solution is cold approaching. Cold approaching is essentially just walking up to strangers who you've never spoken to before and just starting a conversation. It can be something as simple as saying hello, how's your day going, or giving a simple compliment, or even asking for like directions or the time, even if you already know where you're going or what time it is. The essence of the exercise is that you break the ice with the person. Now, one thing you're gonna have to realize is that in the start, it's gonna be super scary and you're gonna suck. Just like when starting anything else in life, you're gonna suck. You're gonna start in the start of this. You're probably going to embarrass yourself a few times. You're probably going to have some awkward situations. You're probably going to think that some people don't want to be bothered, and maybe some people are going to be kind of offended that you walked up to them. But these are all just key lessons. You need to adopt like a growth mindset. A growth mindset is great for this because what it essentially is you adopt this mindset where there is no winning and losing. There's only winning and there's learning. If you walk up to a person and you say, "Hello, how's your day going?" and they answer, "Hey, it's going great," and you have a nice conversation, that's a win, you improved. Or if you walk up to them and say, "Hello, how's your day going?" and they tell you, "Fuck off," you just learned something. Okay, maybe your approach was a bit weird. Maybe you approached them from the back and they kind of got startled. Maybe it was obvious they didn't want to talk because they were like reading a book and you kind of bothered them. You either win or you'll learn. Once you adopt this mindset, it makes it 10 times easier to go and take action on these practices. Now, there's a quick visualization that I've kind of really started liking recently. I've learned about it recently. But basically, close your eyes and imagine yourself 10 years from now. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong socially. Let's say you have no friends, any chance that any girl ever gave you, the love of your life and everything, you completely blew, you're completely alone, you're depressed, you have so much social anxiety, even leaving the house becomes like a full-on mission. And you start imagining yourself from 10 years ago. You were so much younger, you had so many more opportunities, you were watching videos on improving your social skills and you were going to take action, you were going to improve, but you never ended up taking action. You only watched these few videos, but then you kind of got bored and you started playing video games, and before you knew it, a decade passed. And so you start praying to God or the universe or whatever you believe in to just bring you back to 10 years ago. You would give anything to just be able to go back to that time, and if you got that wish granted, you would absolutely work your ass off to not get to this point again. Now open your eyes. You had just given, or you had just been given that chance. You've just been teleported back 10 years, and now you got a second chance. Are you gonna waste it again, or are you gonna go and actually put in the work? Now visualize the life that you want to have. Imagine now let's say you've come back 10 years, right? And now another 10 years pass, and now you've achieved everything. You're social, you have a beautiful girlfriend or wife, maybe you even have some kids, you have a ton of friends, maybe you've even started like some sort of social media business where you speak to people constantly or you talk on stage and you're super social and charismatic. This life, the only thing that is required for you to do in order to achieve this life is to just remember one thing: action. You just need to take action again and again and again, every single day, even if it's a little bit. Continuous action beats like doing a bunch of stuff one day and then not doing anything for 3 months. Just showing up again, taking action again, is all that's really required for you to achieve the dream life. Now, when you're starting off with the cold approaches, you want to start off small because you're probably going to have a lot of anxiety when it comes to approaching strangers. And so if I gave you a big ass mission right now, like approach this cute girl and get her number and go on a date with her, and you would chicken out. You want to start small and progressively overload, just like in the gym. The way that you do this is you start by just saying the smallest thing you can to some stranger. You walk up and you say hello and you walk away. Or you walk up and say, "Hello, how are you?" They tell you whatever, "I'm good, thank you," and you say okay and you walk away. You start by these really small things to kind of pick up the momentum, get more kind of used to speaking to people, and that's when you can start doing a little bit more advanced things like having slightly longer conversations or giving compliments. Another huge tip as well, which I can give you, is if you even struggle to approach people in the first place, even if it's to say hi and walk away, you can just say one extra thing to people who you're already speaking to. For example, if you're at the grocery store and you're speaking to the cashier, instead of just saying thank you and walking away, you can, putting down your shit, whatever, and you ask, "How's your day going?" And they say, whatever, it's good. And then you walk away. Just by saying this one extra thing to the cashier who you're already speaking to, that also works in leveling up your social skills and reducing your social anxiety around people. Some good people who can also try this on is like a taxi driver, a cashier, a bus driver, like a waiter, if you're at like a restaurant, or you can even A simple thing as well, which I like doing a lot, is you literally just ask for directions. You walk up to a person, you ask, "Excuse me, where is this place?" Even if you like already, even if you live in the town for your entire life, you just ask the person, "Excuse me, where's like the town center? Where's the church?" And then they explain it to you, and then you just leave. That's a really great one that you can also use. So here's your action step for this video. Within 24 hours, within the next 24 hours, I want you to approach at least 3 people and use one of these strategies which I outlined. Ask for directions, give a compliment, say hi and walk away, doesn't matter, but just interact with 3 people. And just never stop doing it after that. Every single day, whenever you can speak to a stranger or a girl, just go and speak to it. Implement it into your daily schedule, and you will notice just as months and years pass, you just become more confident, more charismatic, and it all just comes down, like it just comes to you naturally. Now, if you want to learn more from me and you want to get one-on-one help to get results such as the 3 guys who I mentioned in the start of the video, you can check out the first link in the description. And if you found this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video right here. Click on the subscribe button and do the work.